Hi, greetings everyone. So today, let's bring our hands together and breathe a bit, just to get us to get nice and long and grounded. The breath is going to really help. The more it's smooth and long, it's going to help keep you nice and calm and grounded. So let's always start with that. And then release the hands. We're going to move off the blanket and sit in Dandasana. So legs nice and long, fingertips pointing forward, nice toes up towards the ceiling. Of course, rolling the shoulders back and down. Smooth, long breaths. Remember, stay a minute or more. Pause the video. Take the hands back a little bit. Allow the shoulders to roll back a bit. So you can do tabletop, which is, bringing the feet in. Fingertips long. Press the feet together because you really want to use all the legs for this. Coming up. You want this nice, long, flat body if possible. Some of you I know can stretch the legs out long. Stay a full minute. Come on down. And then you'll just turn your hands the other way. So if this is already creating some tension and tightness in your forearm, this might be as far as you go. But see if you can continue on with that. And breathe and lengthen. And then coming over, I love to do downward facing dog. I think it's one of the basic foundation poses and one of the very best ones. And so I think every practice, if you can do at least one or two downward facing dogs, that would be really essential. Take a moment. Take a long exhale. And coming up. Remembering you want the spine to be perfectly long. I have a little bend in my knees, but you can lengthen the legs really nice and long. And then you can drop the heels towards the floor. As long as you don't sacrifice this long, long spine. Now you want to stay there, of course, full minute or more. Come down. You can always come down and rest in Balasana. Your knees nice and wide, sitting onto your heels. And again, you can stay there a full minute. Nice long breaths. Coming up. Now you can walk your hands towards your feet. Hopefully only bending at the hip. Having the legs nice and long and strong. And coming up into Tadasana. Long breath. And then step forward on your mat. And you want to step forward and have either the heels in alignment, as much space between the front leg and the back leg as your leg is long. And then turn the hips forward. Reach up through the heart. Reach up through the crown of the head. Roll the shoulders back and down. You're going to bend at the hip. So we're just going to bend at the hip. Now some of you will stay right here. Some of you will use the block or 2 blocks. And some of you, just keeping this front leg perfectly long, maybe all the way down. Now you can do this a couple of times, and you can do some different things with your arms. So I have my right leg forward. I can bring my right hand arm on top of my left arm. Roll my shoulders back. And again, bend the hip. And coming forward. Now you can do it again, but this time, maybe bringing the hands in Namaste, in Anjali Mudra, and maybe they come here, or maybe your hands can come up your back as you're doing Virabhadrasana. So you can do this multiple times with multiple arms and lengthening this front leg really long, having a little bit more strength and weight in the back leg. And breathe. Don't forget that. I know I keep reminding you about that breathing, but that's really going to be key and help you. And then another Virabhadrasana. Lovely warrior pose. You know, bending the front knee, reach. You know, really let this be, got some energy in it. Reach out through the head, breathing. And of course, staying a full minute, doing the other side would be great. Taking your block, putting it, and if you don't have a block, you know, one of the last videos I showed that I had a stack of toilet paper, all put together. You can use that. You can use a book, really sturdy couple of books. That also works if you don't have a block. So sometimes you don't, you know, you can use what you have around. Nice long breath. Reach up the arms. Extending. Reaching up from the pelvic floor. Bending the front knee. And then you're just going to shift until you can lift up. If you want the strength in the back leg, length through from the top of the head out, and breathe. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. And come down. And you'll do the other side. And then sitting in Virasana. So some of you might need or want, you know, something to sit on. You might end up, you know, just sitting on your heels. You might sit between the legs. Reaching up, breathe. Take the arms up over your head. Drop one hand behind you, taking both elbows up. So the hand drops behind the neck, maybe all the way to the back. And then you're going to drop the other arm down. You don't have to turn around, I'm just showing you. And then you're going to bring the hands somewhere together. Don't forget to drop this elbow down. Take the elbow up, the opposite elbow up. And long exhalations. Release. Do the other side. Coming down to the floor. Bridge pose. Very nice, calming, cooling pose. Start out with your arms out into a T position. So you can get the shoulder blades and the shoulders on the floor, but this nice curvature in your neck. Feet are in line with your sit bones. Press the feet down. Strengthen your legs. And imagine that you're squeezing the thighs together. And lift the hips all the way up. As high as you can get them up off the floor. So using the strength of the legs. Now, of course, you can stay, of course, a full minute or more. Next time you can bring the hands towards the feet. Using something between the legs to really activate the legs. The hands come towards the ankles. Lifting and reaching up. And then you've got a block. You've got to come up high onto your toes. I've got the brick on the high side. You can actually stay here quite a long time. And then, of course, some of you, much braver, might just come up with one leg at a time or two legs. Press and reach the legs up long towards the ceiling. And you're going to stay, as long as you like. Remember, you have a block underneath you. I'm holding the block just to make sure that it's stable. You can extend the legs out long and stay a little longer, or you can just bring them underneath you. Make sure you lift up. Slowly roll down. Long exhale. You want to do a twist. Make sure you do a twist to both sides. And then, get into Shavasana. You can put something underneath the legs. You can cover up with your blanket. Arms down at your sides. Fully and completely relaxed. Namaste.